Hello everybody, my name is Nadia Schuster and I am going to be making a delicious recipe today. It's called mahi mahi empanadas with tequila chipotle cream sauce. We're going to be creating a delicious tortilla dough and we're going to fill it with delicious mahi mahi with some fresh tomatoes and garlic and shallots. Later on we're going to deep fry them and we're going to present them on a delicious tangy fresh coleslaw. We're going to dip them in a chipotle tequila sauce that is just to die for, using a lot of Philadelphia cheese. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's get started with our dough. This is probably the first thing you want to do since it needs to rest for about 10 minutes. We have some flour, some salt, some baking powder. This helps make them a little fluffy when you're frying them. Some lard. And some hot water. And you're going to knead this for about 5 minutes. Okay, now that our dough is ready, we're going to form some small balls. And remember, these are appetizer size, so they should be about this size, just little balls. And we need to let this guys rest for about 10 minutes. While the dough is resting, I'll get all of my prep work out of the way. I'm going to be working on my cabbage and the tomatoes and the shallots and the fish, and then I will see you back in just a few minutes to get this started. I'm going to get started by making a coleslaw that we're going to put underneath the empanadas. Later on, this is going to be served on top of them, and then we're going to top it with that cream sauce that I've been talking about. This is a very simple coleslaw. I just have some coleslaw, some fresh lime juice, some radishes, and a little bit of salt. You can put as much salt as you want in this recipe. It's really up to you. And then we just give it a quick toss, and the colors are beautiful. It's a great presentation as well. Okay, and that's all there's to it. We're going to set this aside and we're going to get started on our fish. Okay, so we have our pan here, and we're going to have some shallots, some tomatoes. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches of salt. Okay, we're going to add our fish next. Very, very easy recipe. And we're just going to cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes until the fish is cooked through. Okay, my fish is just about done and ready for a little bit of tomato puree. Going to toss this. We're just going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes. This is going to finish cooking inside the empanadas when we fry them, so we really don't want to overcook the fish. We just want them to change in color. We don't want it translucent. We want them a little bit white. Okay, and I'm going to let this sit for a couple of minutes. Okay, let's get started on our sauce. This is a very exciting sauce. It has some tequila in it and some chipotles and some Philadelphia cream cheese. I think you're going to love it. We're going to take some shallots, throw that in the pan. I have a little bit of oil in there. I like cooking with vegetable oil, but if you want to use olive oil, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so now these are some chipotle peppers, and I diced 2 of them because I like my sauce very spicy. If you are a little fearful, you can just do 1 and add more as you go. It really doesn't matter. 2 chipotles. And we are going to cook this up just a little bit. Wonderful. And the next thing we're going to do is add some tequila to the mix. We're going to increase the heat and let the alcohol burn off for just a little bit. And we'll add the rest of the ingredients. It's going to be great. Chipotles and our shallots have been simmering in the tequila. And I also added a little bit of garlic. Now I'm going to add Philadelphia cream cheese a little bit at a time. I'm going to reduce my heat just a little bit. And I am going to let that melt into the dish. Stay with it. It looks a little scary at first, but once it all melts, it's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to start assembling our empanadas. Okay, I have removed some of the sauce from the fish. We don't want it to be too saucy because that might drip out of the empanadas and it's kind of dangerous when you put it in the oil. So you want some of the liquid, but not all of it. And we're also going to try to avoid taking too much when we're filling the empanadas. I want to introduce you to a Mexican's best friend. This is called the tortilla maker, or in Spanish, tortillera. If you have one of these, they're a lifesaver. They're very inexpensive and you can get it in just about any supermarket anymore. So we take one of our balls that have been resting, we place it on the plastic and press a little bit down on it. Remember, these are appetizer sizes, so we have to press lightly on it and just check it, just a little bit. I think that's a little too small, so maybe another press. I think it could go a little bit more. Okay, wonderful. I think this is a perfect size. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can also just roll this out with a pin and just do this by hand. Either way is fine. So while it's still sitting on the plastic, you take a little bit of your filling and don't overdo it, because all that's going to happen is going to come out and just cause a great big mess. And what I like to do is fold these over and press on the ends. It's okay if a little bit comes out. The sauce, it's really not going to change anything. Now these are ready to go, but if you have the time, you can always crimp it down with a fork and make them look extra pretty. Okay. Wonderful, and this just peel off the plastic like this. Okay, well, all of these empanadas are assembled and ready to go. I have some hot veggie oil, and these actually cook really fast, so it shouldn't be long. I'm just going to drop this in the oil. Woo! Gotta be careful! And again, you know, this unfortunately, sometimes a little bit of the mixture will leak out, so you have to be careful and keep your distance. And make sure not to overcrowd your pan. I don't like to do more than 5 of them at a time. See, this one is already browning. I wanted to show you. I wish you could smell this kitchen right now. It smells absolutely wonderful. My empanadas are out of the pan, and I want you to see how beautiful they turned out. They are nice and puffy, and when you get a puffy empanada, you know that you've done it right. What I would like to do, remember the coleslaw that we had set aside that was marinating in the lime juice? I like to just spread that around. This is a wonderful chipotle cream cheese sauce. I'm going to put the empanadas all around the pan. Whatever arrangement you want to do. This looks wonderful. Look at how beautiful that looks, and it tastes just as good as it looks. There you have it. Let's just put in there a little bit of coleslaw, a little of this delicious sauce. Nice dollop on there. Oop, that one's falling off. The crust is so puffy when it just melts in your mouth. The mahi-mahi is perfectly cooked because we didn't cook it very long. We let it sat. So it's fresh. Coleslaw is crispy, tangy, and that amazing tequila chipotle sauce is fantastic. My name is Nadia Schuster. Cheers.